All right, here we go again. Buckle up. I didn't feel like going to Butler, but I probably would have had a better selection of boards up in Butler based upon the stock I see. But it's just going underneath the furniture, and then legs are going to screw into it. And then I'm going to use molding probably around. And like the base of those pedestal columns I purchased, I'm going to use some molding around that. So that'll have the base will have molding. That's a heftier base for that piece of stone. And then I'll probably use the other piece of marble, the 16 by 20 Carrera, for a hand washing station. And I'll use the uprights that are on the arc now. Yeah, I was talking to a guy in Lowe's. I got sidetracked. I didn't get my stone spray. But he said he quit politics like a year ago. He did a lot of work for, I don't remember the name, but he helped build a website. He told you go to .com. I probably could find it if I researched it, because I built that website. I told him some of the deep state stuff. He goes, now I'll tell you something. So again, like I told him, I said, look, I started introducing that the idea of investments. I said 18, it's probably 16 years ago, and I really did big time 10 years ago, where you create the investment accounts for the kids. And because he said, well, Trump's corrupt. I said, yeah, but I never said that nobody's corrupt, that nobody should be corrupt, because again, that world doesn't exist. And if you're not corrupt, you're moving backwards in a lot of cases. But again, what type of corruption? Don't hurt. That's really wrong in the first administration. But again, like I said, Trump wasn't fully in control. And they had spell, or is it they had spell? Right. Or spell, should I say. She could be from a witch family for all we know. Oh, Catholics. There's a lot of witches in the Catholic Church. 100%. Yeah, it's like anywhere else to begin with. Good and bad, anywhere and everywhere. So, and it wasn't, they'll, like, the reason I brought that up, and I didn't tell him this part, they'll harass me around it. That's why they called it Trump accounts, to try to diss me. See if they can get me pissed off. No, it isn't a test. It's a reality. You got people in the administration trying to piss me off. But it wasn't about being pissed off, because I was pissed off the entire first 3 years, 3.5 years of the administration. I helped you and they effed me off. Damn near killed me a couple times. So that's what that was. It wasn't that. It was my health went so far south. And when it did, they stayed on me, and in some cases increased it. Aurora, Colorado. They never thought we'd be here. Not that you're really anywhere where you think you are. The deep state's still everywhere. In your administration also. Smile at you all day and run deep state behind your back. So again, it's not about being pissed off. And again, like I said, the Trump administration, after all those years, Trump administration got it into play, and that's what it's about. Because now the kids, I mean, as long as the Democrats don't steal from their account, and you have to put somebody to troubleshoot it, see if anybody can steal from the savings account. Yeah, by the time the kid turns 20, he's got nothing left because the Democrats stole it. I'm serious. They just they're looking at their chops. Oh, got a savings account for the kids, huh? So it's not about that. It never was. They screwed me so bad. But when that physical disability kicked in and they wouldn't stop, that was it. And of course, I'd have had some sort of disability increase had they not did what they did. Now, there was a lot of work that this administration engaged in to try to fix uh, VA. It also, the House and the Senate did some work also. Well, they extended the Persian Gulf thing, but it's almost like a slap in the face because the deep state's going to block it. But of course, now you've got somebody from the House in there, Collins. So he's watchdogging it. Right? You see, the Democrats are bullshit watchdog. They're really watching the deep, taking care of the deep state. Now, the administration didn't make mistakes and does make mistakes and does things that I wouldn't necessarily do where they do it. But again, the alternative isn't better. That's what I think is going to, where the midterms is going to come down to. Democrats are they're burnt. They're burnt. They ain't got nothing. They can come up with another program and steal money from. Nobody will know until a Republican gets back in the presidency. If I'd have had that money when I was supposed to have it, and I was supposed to have it when I was in New Mexico, that would have been great. But when I was supposed to really have it in Oklahoma, I was like the drop dead did. I never would have got sick like this. I guarantee it. They just wouldn't have had access. It was early enough for me to go buy a house, and then they never would have got access, including a big dog. It took that many years for me to get back to it each time. I even told my attorneys what they did is when I was trying to figure out how to work on my disability after 2012-13 when they effed it off and all the claims disappeared. They were sending in people. They sent a guy in, supposedly a VA rep, had a card and everything. But before he leaves, he tells me he's a felon who's been in prison. It's part of the psyop. Everybody knows what felons have been in prison. They set you up. Right. Now they cop for money. My brother said he was like my mother. He saw some stuff. It wasn't like as wild as what you're seeing, in these fraud cases. But he saw some stuff, and he was thinking like, they put her in hospice, and now she's not that well. But back when they put her in hospice the first time, a little bit early, like he's thinking she's gonna die. And, no. I tried to help her, but she had no ability to repel the deep state. I call it the wiles of the deep state, like the scripture says, wiles of the devil. So I have to call my attorney. So essentially, if I got 100%, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to keep going or not. I mean, there's really more disability related to it. So I do all day most of the time is try to. Even when I was riding my bicycle and exercising, I was managing my disability. My hearing wouldn't have got this bad if I stayed in massage and exercised. And it's not my fault. I was tortured, psychologically tortured, and I most likely was drunk. It happened. I can't pinpoint each moment. I know Jonathan Lynn was drugged. I know they drugged me because they didn't want me in the Luna hearings. I probably never would have made it there. That's the crazy part. The people that were in there talking, running their mouth, as they like to say, lived a great life and were millionaires because they're hip people for the deep state. No, there's no doubt they drugged me a series of times, including Omaha, Nebraska, because they didn't want me to have any credibility, number one. Number two, they never wanted me to get to that hearing. I found out about the hearing years later. I would have blew that case wide open. I can tell you what they did to him. What they did to me. What they did to me in Oklahoma. It's what they did to what's his name in Oklahoma, Nichols in Oklahoma. And they say shit like, "Well, you lived through it, so no big deal, right? Something wrong with him, right?" That's the kind of shit they say. That's why I knew Deputy Ritchie I guess it's the '60s. He was drugged. I knew he was telling the truth because they described the people, the CIA officer. And it's a split image, a slickster little girl. We're all the same, rotten pieces of shit, bound for hell. They hate marshals because we're too tough to die. And one day I'll die. I lived longer than anyone else. I was psychologically tortured. It's like being in a prisoner of war camp, just about. It's kind of worse in certain ways because they can mess with your head worse because you're out in the open, but you can't get anywhere. You just got to give it up and go to God. That's it. Nothing else to do. Boo, boo, boo. There are people that trouble. Believe me, God. What they try to convince everybody is I'm just cursing and I'm with Satan and I'm the beast and all that. But of course they are. Including the church. We got a church. All right, demons in the church. We knew that. It doesn't change it now because you're deep state demons in the church. Actually, if you're in religion, you're suspect. It's pretty cool. I got that lighthouse thing going on there. That nautical light at the front of my. All right, so I come home and one of the lights isn't on. So what they're trying to do is send some sort of weird message. It could be just happenstance, but I swear they hacked the app and they mess with my lights here. Just stay peaceful. Praise